Hi, this is 𝗂𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗃 with 𝗕𝗂𝗺𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 to install a 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗶𝗶 K8 or Kangen 8 𝗂𝐻𝐸𝐺 water ionizer. It's called a K8 because it has 8 electrolysis plates, whereas the ST501 has 7. So first thing is, we'll just open up the box. And here we have an instruction manual. This is an installation guide, and it's one page. If you follow the steps on this one page, it should pretty much be what you need to get it hooked up and running. Here's a DVD with an owner's manual, and then we have different size adapters so that it should work on just about any sink faucet that you could have in your home. So we'll be using one or more of those. This is the diverter, and we'll show how to install that in a few minutes. The power cord. In this little white box, there's a stainless steel diverter, so you actually have a choice of which of these that you would like to use. I think we'll install with the white one, but you could also choose to use the stainless steel diverter. I'll just show you what it's like. It's very nice, so depending on the decor of your kitchen, you might prefer to use the stainless steel. And a pH testing strip kit. Here's a box that has a couple items. It has a cartridge for cleaning and a cleaning tank. And so we'll demonstrate the use of those on a future video. This is electrolysis solution, electrolysis enhancer. It is used to supplement the electrolysis at the 2.5 pH water so that the water kills germs on contact for a broad spectrum of organisms and viruses. And then we also have cleaning solution, and it looks like there's 5 or 6 little bags of cleaning solution here, so this should last a good long time. Because cleaning usually is done like about once a month or so. Here's a little hose, which I don't think we'll need to use this today because it's for an optional drain drain hose, which we're going to show the one that comes standard or default with the K8. I'll just set this on the floor. And this is the K8 𝗂𝐻𝐸𝐺 Kangen 8 water ionizer. So here's the hose at the top, and some of these hoses come with little water stops in them to keep the water from draining. So we certainly want to remove those. You just pull them out from the ends. On the back side you can see this is the white hose that will attach at the sink faucet, but there's also the short hose which drains into the sink. So those are the two hoses that come out the bottom of the machine. Okay, so we'll be attaching the diverter to the white hose, and to do that we simply unscrew the diverter clamp and put the hose through that. It should just slide up onto the hose. You shouldn't need to use any special tools for the installation. This part right here is probably the hardest part of the whole job, is putting this little screw nut on the water hose. And you can see on the hose it has a little green tape with arrow pointing the direction that the water flows, so it always flows this way into the machine. Okay, so now that we have the screw nut on the hose, it just plugs onto the diverter, and then the nut is pushed up to where the threads are, and you only tighten it by hand. never use a tool for this because that would make it too tight. That feels pretty snug, just like that. So now what we need to do is determine the right size adapter for our sink. You unscrew this top nut, this big white nut. There's a little rubber gasket that sits there. I'll move this out of the way so it's easier to see. And so what we're going to do is use one of these adapters that fits our faucet. We'll find out in a moment which one it is. I suspect it's one of these. And then it will sit kind of like that and screw tight. So let's just see what we have for our faucet. I think it'll be one of these. They're the most likely ones. What you do is you unscrew the aerator from your faucet, and you can see that on ours it's female thread, so that's why I selected the two of these that are female. And then I just find the one that has the right thread for our faucet. So I'll try this one. It feels like it's a good fit. Let me just try the white one, because if it's the same, then I'll go with the white so it matches the color of the diverter. Well, it feels like the thread's a little different. I don't want to strip the thread, so I'll go with the gray because that one fits perfectly. Okay, so the next step is, now that we know which size, we'll move the machine close to the sink. And we'll need that big nut, the big white nut. And first we'll slide the big nut up onto the faucet, and then we'll screw on the end nut that holds it all in place. And that you can screw on with your thumb and finger. Again, no tools are necessary. You can use a quarter. It has little slots at the bottom, so you can tighten it with the quarter. I think that finger tight on our sink works pretty good. And then the diverter screws into the nut, like so. And this you want to have on nice and snug, but again, no tools, you just want it hand tight. It has a really good gasket, so it shouldn't leak. Okay, so now it's all connected to the sink, and you see, to operate it, you have three options. In this position, it's on ionize for ionizer, or shower, or tap. It has a very nice feel, and we'll give it a try in a moment, but first of all I want to show you how the hoses work. The little hose underneath can angle to the side, and so we're going to put the machine next to the sink and point that hose so that it drains into the sink, like that. The other hose is the one on top, which is the one that we fill our glasses with the drinking water from. That sits up on top like so. One last thing is to attach the power. So we have the power cord. And the K8, by the way, works with 8 different types of power. So it can work in any country in the world without using a transformer to convert the voltage. That makes it safe for the machine so it doesn't burn out with the use of transformers. Makes it convenient so you don't have to carry all kinds of transformers with. The cord plugs directly into the machine. So we'll plug the machine in. And so now the SD5 or the Level Up K8 is plugged in. It's turned on for the very first time. And so now what we'll do is we'll run some water through. Cold water. So we'll turn the diverter to ion. So now it's using the ionizer. And we'll let it run just a minute since it's the very first water that came through the machine. And the K8 makes water at the rate of 50% faster than the SD501. So now we'll make some Kangen water and give it a try. Oh, let's see, I don't even know what setting we're using. But it looks like it's a pretty good one because as you can see, I'll hold this up to the light, and if you get really close you can see all the little tiny bubbles in the water, so you know that the ionization is very powerful. So now we'll just press the 9.5 and be sure that it's making the 9.5 Kangen water, which it is. And we'll have our first glass of Kangen water. Wow, isn't that lovely? Look at all those tiny little oxygenated bubbles floating around in the water. Delicious. Cheers.